Hart, and I'm doing my speech on why black men should vote. The reason why I chose that topic is because black men have been in America for hundreds of years. Yes, some of us still neglect voting in not just presidential elections, any election, period. Okay? And I want to stress to the fact that it's not just a right. I consider it a duty. It's something we earned over time. Black men have come from slavery to President of the United States. Why is that? Because some of us have taken our place in line and decided, hey, my voice counts. It matters what I think, and this is what I believe. I'm not telling you which way to vote or who to vote for. I'm telling you to get out there and express your opinion on why you should vote and stand on that. The man right here, name is Thomas Money. He was the first black man to vote in America. He did this in the 1800s from Jersey. He voted. He was actually the first African-American man to vote. He was the first one on a jury, and he worked in the Republican Party. Yes, the Republican Party. I have to stress that because there was a time where all of us were Republicans instead of Democrats. Okay? He took his place in American history to vote, to make things happen. Now, I could sit up here and tell you about Martin Luther King, I Had a Dream, the Malcolm X and all that, but in order to make that dream come true, you have to have somebody to follow that dream. A dream is just a dream if nobody believes in it and says, hey, I'm going to stand with you. I'm going to follow it. We believe in this, and we're going to make this happen together. That's why we have come so far, but yet we still have further to go in America. Andrew Johnson. People don't know the significance of the President Andrew Johnson. I'm going to tell you why it affects us. Any of y'all know about the Civil Rights Act of 1865? The Civil Rights Act of 1865 was vetoed by this man. It was to give all of us equal rights. Okay? You were a free man, but you were 3/5 of a man. Can you imagine 3/5? That means it took two of you to equal one white man. Two of you. You were considered 3/5 of a man, and he wanted to keep it that way. However, with the vote of Congress, they vetoed it and made it to the point to where we had equal rights as men, and we now had the right to vote at that time. Okay? We had the right to vote, yet still some men didn't vote. Why some men didn't vote? Let's see. The good old days. Well, the not so good old days. The reason why I say that is because you have groups such as the KKK who use violence to intimidate you, kill you, and say, hey, I'm not going to vote because I'm going to end up like him. It took one man to say, hey, if I don't vote, this is going to continue. If I don't take my place, they're going to continue treating us less like men and people and more like animals. You were hanged. You were drugged. Nobody said anything about it. And that still happens today. Some things I can say that most people will remember. The Rodney King. You remember that well. They beat this man. It was on videotape. None of them were found guilty. Not one. He was given $1 million, but that does not make up for the fact that that has happened. And it continues to happen today. It's just not publicized as much as it used to be. Okay? That because some people still didn't voice. You even went out and rioted, we broke a few things. So what? You have to voice your opinion and say, hey, this is why these things continue to happen if we don't do something about it. If we don't participate in the political process and say, hey, this is why we think this is unfair. This is why you know this is unfair. And we should get out there, get in line, and vote, and make sure things like this doesn't happen. Not just for the well-being of yourself, but for the well-being of the nation. Okay? We built this nation. It was bought, but the cotton was picked by the black man. The mills are worked by black men. The fields are worked by black men. All these things. This country was built on us. It was bought by them, but built by us. And if you don't participate and you don't have a voice, you need to be quiet. Which line will you stand in? Okay? I ask you to stand in this line once every 4 years to voice your opinion, to make a difference in American history. Yes, it's long, but look what it's filled with. You don't see that many of us. Why? Because we're spending more time in this line. We spend more time in that line trying to get it in. I ask you to get it in every 4 years. Get it in. Get somebody in the house that you believe will make a difference in America. That's a big thing that we need to do as African Americans. This is what I say. I'm a descendant of an African king, queen, a slave, and some hard-working Americans that have built this nation. And on election day, I stood in line and I voted for what I believed in. I challenge every one of you to do the same. If you didn't vote this time, be sure to do it the next time so that you can say, I mattered. I said something and America listened. Whether they went my way or not, they listened to what I had to say. I stood for what I believed in, and I am a part of American history, and I can say this is why this happened. Thank you very much.